Let me ask you something. When you're looking at the state of play right now, why did you feel the need to speak to President Trump about coronavirus? What was the point behind that conversation?
Well, the whole thing was, you may remember, well, you maybe didn't remember because you've been feeling so badly. You had a high
I'm
fever at
still
the
in it.
time.
I'm still in it. Don't worry. I'm still in it.
Well, no, I know, but Kellyanne Conway, Miss Conway, who I don't know, I've never met, said about 4 or 5 days, I can't remember the exact date, if Biden really wanted to help, he'd stop criticizing and call the president and offer his help. And so my staff responded, I'm happy to talk to the president if he wants to talk to me. And we didn't get any follow-up until yesterday. I got a call when I was going on a show, one of your colleagues' show, and said they wanted to talk to me. And so I called the president. I called the White House. And sure enough, the president wanted to talk. We had a good conversation. I laid out what I thought he should be doing. I laid out 4 or 5 specific points that I thought were necessary. I indicated that it's about taking responsibility and being the commander-in-chief, taking on the responsibility. He asked whether or not we would not discuss the detail of what we talked about, just say that we had a good conversation. He was very gracious in his conversation. And so it was, the president, I had an opportunity to tell him what I would have done, what I thought, the lessons we learned, and that's what he talked about.
Why is it a good thing for the American people for you guys to talk, but us not really know what happened?
Well, it's not he's laid out what happened. I laid out I laid out the 5 things I thought he should be doing now. And suggested how I thought he should go about doing it. He should fully implement the Defense Production Act. He should appoint, at the same time, a supply commander who controlled it all. He should create a Bank Defense Production Act because the big banks don't want to lend to small businesses. He should exponentially ramp up drug testing, and he should open up a new enrollment period for Obamacare. And I thought he should collect a lot more data and make it mandatory, the collection of data nationally on those African Americans who are contracting the disease and dying at a much higher rate than other folks. And then I indicated a few other things that I thought. He said, rather than us characterize what each of us said, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I already had said those things. And he was very gracious, and that was the end of the conversation.